Hi, thank you for looking at my application to be the ISIC Vice President for External Relations 2010-2011. My name is Jan Bartscht. This is a picture of me. I'm keeping this video as small a file size as possible because I live in Cambodia. I'm one of the co-founders of ISIC in Cambodia, and here we have not so great internet, even though it's a fantastic country, as you can see in these beautiful pictures, but the internet suffers. So I'm going to give you in this video a short talk about who I am, what I'm about, and also why I want to apply for the External Relations role. Then I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about what my answers are to the video questions for the External Relations role. So first, a little bit about me. Who am I? I was born in London, but I'm a German citizen. My parents were German, so I was raised mainly in London. I then went to school in the UK and then eventually graduated from the University of Southampton. But it's at Southampton that I started my ISIC experience. It was a really exciting place for me to start because Southampton is one of the best UK LCs, and I'm very proud to be from Southampton originally. So, quickly to do what have I done in ISIC. The key point from a VP ER point of view is the amount of money I've raised. I've earned $200,000 directly and over 1.2 million in the teams and projects that I've worked on. I've signed well over 20 partnerships already, and that means that I have a really good background in understanding what stakeholders need and what we can offer them from an ISIC point of view in order to secure successful partnerships. I've also been a founder of ISIC in Cambodia, and I have a lot of experience in both Asia and Europe, as well as having attended many international conferences in the Sea region, in South America, and as well as having done a seed to Bulgaria. So overall, I spent over 5 years in ISIC, and I have a lot of experience, mainly working with partners, signing partners, and positioning ISIC in the external markets. So this really is what I want you to have a broad understanding of what my ISIC experience and background is about. The external relations role, successfully signing companies to work with ISIC, but most importantly building profitable and sustainable partnerships. So now let's talk a little bit about where I am, where I'm going with my application. I want to kind of make it clear the one thing that I'm really standing for is that I'm a person who can deliver innovation and also profitably implement it. In the UK, I've created and delivered the UK Leadership Tournament for a very profitable amount of money. I did the same for Cambodia in terms of taking a crazy idea and making it possible, but not just making it possible, but making it a world-class success. Cambodia is now number 2 in the world for relative growth. We have 5 LCs. We have over 100 members, and due to the financial ER products I've created, unique products that exist only in Cambodia, we are now financially secure and sustainable. I think this is a unique position for an expansion to be in, and I think this was largely due to the success of my ER products that we're able to be in this position where we are today. So what I have is the capacity to not only create and innovate new ideas, but also the capacity to implement them successfully and very profitably. So I want to tell you a little bit about where I want to go in life and why it's important for me to be on the ISIC International team. The reason I want to apply for ISIC International is I see it as a really important step for me to move on towards achieving my life goals. You can see them in front of you, but what they're really about is trying to make as big and as positive an impact on the world as possible. I think the education system in the world is broken. I don't think it prepares youth, not only for the modern day labour market, it doesn't prepare youth for life full stop. We need to do something about that if we are to make sure that youth can continue to drive progress forward in our societies and that they can achieve success in their adult lives. I also feel that it's not acceptable that we don't take our future seriously enough. We seem to believe that the earth was given to us by our parents, but I prefer to think of it more that it's on loan to us by our children. We have to act more responsibly and be better stewards of this planet to make sure that our children will always have a brighter future. And I want to build an institution that contributes towards that. Finally, I want to build a global community that helps people have happier, more fulfilled lives. As we become more developed and as the levels of income rise, we move away from fighting to meet our primary needs, and it becomes about people deciding for themselves what the meaning of their life is, what is valuable in their lives. What I want to do is create a community that enables people to find happiness and to find fulfillment in their own unique way. Being on ISIC International will be my first step towards achieving these rather ambitious goals. So now I want to move on to addressing the actual AI-ER questions. And the first one was, which 5 partners would I sign and what would I sell them? Obviously there's the option to sell global exchange partnerships and conference sponsorship. And I kind of take it as a given that those could be sold to companies. So what I'm going to talk about now is what new could be done. One idea that I have is that we basically find champion partners for each stage of the ISIC experience. For introduction to ISIC, I would select Vodafone or Coca-Cola. They're very big global brands and they're interested in being exposed to as many people as possible. That's what's perfect for them at the introduction to ISIC stage. Taking responsibility, Samsung is an aspiring global titan. They take very seriously the They take very seriously the idea of being a responsible corporate citizen, and I think the idea of taking responsibility is very nicely aligned with this ethos. So I think they could be a successful and worthy champion of the taking responsibility stage. General Electric is a world-class company. It's been in existence for over a century, and it continues to be outperforming everyone else, and that's because they have the best leaders. I think therefore they would be the right sponsors for the leadership role. For Exchange, McKinsey and or HSBC are big global companies who pride themselves on their global networks. They, in my opinion, would be very interested in people who are prepared to go work abroad and discover new cultures and actually go live there. And they could probably be the right partner for the Exchange stage. Finally, someone like Monster.com is the world's biggest job website. I think there's a very natural fit between the heading for the future stage and a job website like Monster. So this is just to kind of give you an idea of the direction I would like to take Isaac in. I think it's about opening up the product portfolio and really finding companies who can enable us to deliver more youth leadership experiences, but also companies for whom Isaac is relevant. So I think this is going to be one of the key challenges on AI, and I think I'm in a capacity where I can do that. But it's not just about these kinds of products, nor is it about the global exchange partnerships and so on. It's really about developing a completely new product portfolio. And here are some ideas that I have. We could sign airlines for all the international conference exchange that we do, hotels for the conferences. There are so many different options and possibilities. What I'm trying to say is that I think my year would be about creating these opportunities with partners and really locking them in. I'd like to really push the boundaries of what is possible with ER and sign many new partners, and therefore hopefully enable many more opportunities. To move on to the question of key global trends, these are the 5 trends that are most important for me. Youth employment is probably one of the biggest issues, if not the biggest issue, affecting youth all around the world today. It's a massive problem and it needs to be dealt with, and I think Isaac can present itself as the solution to the labour market's needs. We can provide youth with the competencies and skills that they need and the global network they need in order to find the right job. Globalization is going to continue, and people will be more and more it will be more and more necessary to have people who have a global mindset, who understand different cultures and can relate to different kinds of people. Isaac can position itself as one of the best ways for youth to do this. There is a desperate need for leadership skills across the corporate environment, but not only in the corporate environment, but in the NGO sector, in the government sector, even for entrepreneurs. The whole world is screaming for leaders. And at the moment there are no really effective pumps other than Isaac that I know of around the world that are creating these kind of youth leaders. So I think we should seize the moment and really push ourselves out into the market as the global platform for developing leadership skills. By positioning ourselves in this way, we can firmly entrench ourselves in the minds of key stakeholders, such as youth and as corporate partners, that we are the ones to work with on issues of youth leadership development. Fourthly, the rise of new global powers. More new powers are emerging in the world today, such as India, China, Brazil, but many more. And people should get to know them. In order to fulfill our mission of peace and fulfillment for humankind's potential, we have to make sure we also meet the needs of cultural understanding. The exchange program is the perfect vehicle to do this. We should position it to youth that this is their opportunity to find out about what powers will be influencing them in the 21st century. They should be going from the west to the east, or the east to the west, or the north to the south, to discover what these wonderful new cultures are and how we can work better together to make a more peaceful and happy world. Finally, the recession is going to be there. It's going to keep happening, but Isaac is growing so rapidly, we should use our success and position ourselves in the market that even despite the worst economic downturn in decades, we can still be successful. So, I want to touch on one thing quickly, which is that I think it's very important to align the competency model with the needs of our corporate partners. I think the work done so far on the competency model is fantastic, it's the right way to go, but I think we have to really secure it not just from a competency point of view, but also from meeting the needs of partners. These are the 8 things that I, in my experience, have learned is exactly what corporate partners want. And I think that whether we take these 8 ideas or find some mix of them, what I'm ultimately saying is that we need to align ER with the talent management function, with the competency development process of the Isaac XP, to make sure we're developing the right kind of leaders with the right kind of skills in order to make a better world out there. So, to sum up, for me, external relations, it is all about the money. Absolutely, you've got to make as much money as possible. But it can't be at the compromise of Isaac itself. It's essential to have a VP ER who can earn a lot of money, but at the same time create products and deliver partnerships which are aligned with our core identity.